Welcome back, painting friends. We are going to paint a picture of a campfire with some s'mores. Colors you're going to need are, well, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, brown, black, and white. I always have my favorite 4 brushes on hand. I've got my 1-inch flat brush, my 10-6, and 1 round brush. Don't forget to have a cup of water and a rag for keeping your brushes clean. So let's get started. And if you have fun today, make sure that you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Painting with a Purpose, so you are kept up to date on all of the tutorials. All right, I'm going to take some blue paint. I'm just going to make a nice little hill in the background right here. Everything above that hill is going to be blue, and everything below it, I'm going to paint green. When you're finished, you can wash your brush off, dry your brush off, and set it aside. We're going to grab our number 10 round brush next, and we're going to make 3 circles right down here at the bottom. 1 right here in the middle, 1 a little bit smaller right back there, and then 1 more over here. This is going to be the end of our 3 logs. With my brush still dirty with that brown, I'm just going to go ahead and make a little spiral right in the center of this. Just let those colors kind of mix together a little bit. Same brush, I'm going to take some brown paint, and I'm just going to make some lines that go straight towards where my campfire is going to go. Wipe that brush off, grab a little bit of white paint. We're just going to put a small highlight on the top of these curves. All right, we're going to let this dry. When we come back, we're going to add in the next layer to this painting. With a dry background, I'm going to take my number 10 round brush with some white paint on it. And I'm going to start by making some swirls in the sky that just gently kind of twirl down towards the bottom. The center swirl is going to be the tallest for our fire, and I know it's silly that I'm going in with a straight white to begin with, but we'll start adding some more colors in a minute. Go ahead and just fill those swirls out, bring them all in towards that wooden base area with the white paint. Now when you think you have enough white swirls in there, then we're going to go in with a little bit of yellow and go right over top of most of these swirls. This is a good time to start thinking about filling in some of that blue space in the bottom of our campfire as you're filling it in. Now remember, most of our campfire is going to be yellow, but we are going to be able to add some orange and red in as well. I think I have just about enough yellow, so I'm going to take my brush with just the smallest amount of orange and go over some of these curves again. Now remember, I want most of my fire to be yellow with just a hint of orange and maybe even the tiniest bit of red. Remember, the red's a lot more powerful, so we're going to use a lot less red. I can now go in and fill in any open spaces or maybe some areas that need just a little bit of attention with some yellow paint just to fill it in. I'm going to go in from the bottom by my wood logs and pull some of that yellow up so that it looks like the fire's coming out of the logs. Next, I'm going to go in wipe my brush off, get it nice and dry, a little bit of white paint, dab that white paint on there. And this is called a dry brush technique, where your brush is dry, you add a little bit of color on it, and then you can make things that look like smoke or fire kind of sizzling off. So a little bit of white paint on my number 10 round brush, wiping most of that white paint off, and then you get the look of smoke on your campfire. Now let's add in our marshmallow sticks. I've got brown paint on my number 6 round brush. We're just going to make a stick go right in there. You can add a couple little additions to your stick if you want, or you could just keep it a straight stick. Totally up to you. My second one right about here. And with the back of my brush, I can add in my stars. I like to keep my stars sometimes in groups. Tonight's going to be a group night. I like it when they're in groups. Sometimes I kind of put them everywhere. So if you want your stars to be everywhere, just put them wherever you want to go. I do like them to be in odd numbers, any place I want in my sky. Let's go ahead and add our swirls into our logs just a little bit more clear now that they're dry. A little bit of black swirl going on at the end of that log. I can even take a little bit of yellow and brown on my brush and pull some lines back into that fire from the edge of those logs. Maybe even add a small highlight of white just on part of the swirls on the end of the log. I don't need to do a whole bunch. A little bit goes a long way. Taking a little bit of green and yellow on my number 6 round brush, just kind of flicking up some paint from the bottom to give it a texture of grass. Let's go ahead and add a tiny little top to these marshmallow sticks with my number 6 round brush. Go ahead and wash that brush off, grab some white paint. Let's put these marshmallows on here. We're going to start with just a simple rectangle, fill it in with white paint. Now, if you want your marshmallow to be a simple marshmallow, keep it like that. Or you can go ahead and give your marshmallow a little bit of a bump on the side, top and bottom, like it is starting to expand. Same brush with just a little bit of brown paint. I'm going to make a curved line right at the top of my marshmallow. I think on this one I'm going to put it at the bottom. And then with just a little bit of brown paint, we're going to start working from the bottom of the marshmallow up, just adding a little brown to shade in. Now let's add some highlights. A little bit of white paint on my number 6 round brush. I'm going to put just a white line on top of my marshmallow stick. I can add a small white line around the hill of my background. and even some white lines in my fire just to have a nice highlight. And there we have it, it's finished. I always put my initials in the bottom right corner. Remember, I never get to see what you're painting at home unless you take a picture of it and post it to my Facebook page, Painting with a Purpose. Make sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Painting with a Purpose, so you're kept up to date on all of the tutorials. And remember, as always, stay kind, stay creative, and stay safe. Have a great day, friends. Bye now.